Good afternoon from Little Creek Bee Ranch. We're back to some tabletop lessons again. We've been making some tabletop videos, doing some block videos for some box manipulation strategies. That's kind of our goal today. It's January 2020 in Northeast, or 2022 in Northeast Oklahoma, and it's freezing cold outside, 17 degrees, so I don't think we're going to be doing anything with the bees. But we can learn some strategies. I've had a number of students in the past say, "Man, those blog videos are kind of cool." I said, "Well, cool, man. We'll do some more of them." Box manipulations. You'll hear this term, box manipulations, and some newer beekeepers are coming into beekeeping, and even if they've been in beekeeping 1 or 2 years, they go, "Man, I've not heard that." Box manipulations. Well, that's okay. We focus on the bee IQ. And we want to get people's BIQ up. And it just takes time. It's not a negative thing. It's just like, well, tell me, how much do you know about honeybees? And that's what I hear in classes when I ask students, well, tell me, just what do you know about honeybees? And you, you hear crickets. Well, that's a trick question, really. I don't mean to trick people. But there's just a lot to learn. There's just a whole lot to learn. So this is a cool, simple way of teaching students some box manipulation strategies so they can solve some problems. You'll have to learn beekeeping protocols. That's for the beekeepers, what to do, when to do, how to do. And then bee principles, that's about the bees. And I've always started off bee principles like bees prefer nectar over sugar water. That's true too. And queens love the dark. They'll dash down in between the frames. They love the dark. That's true. And there's about 45 bee principles. You can find more about bee principles in the ebooks we've written in the ebook library. You can go look at that. That's pretty cool. More importantly than that is if you're really serious about learning beekeeping and sustainable beekeeping and raising your BIQ as the personal advisor program, I would really encourage students, no matter where you are, no matter what state you're in, the bees don't know state lines and county borders. They operate by principles. So we have students all over Connecticut and, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. We have students all, and that's cool. But bees don't respect state lines and county borders. Bees operate by principles. I can easily look at your weather and see what your weather's been doing. That's easy enough to do. But more importantly, is back to the question, well, tell me, what do you know about honeybees? And that's where we kind of all start. That's kind of where we all start. So this lesson is about how to transition from a double deep set to a medium set. A transition between double deeps to a medium. Now, I'll explain a little bit more. Some of you, if you're watching this, some of you have heard maybe about brooding in medium-sized boxes. Yeah, that's cool. You can do that. That's my preferred setup, is double mediums to brood in. There's positive reasons for that. But mostly, traditionally, like my blocks here, are in double deep brood boxes, double deeps. That's very traditional. So let's set them up. This is a screen bottom board. So let's set this up. These are double deeps that we're going to set up on 2 rails, 8-foot rails that are 4x4 inches, 4x4 8-foot rails. And the paper represents my home or the bee's spot. Bees are spot sensitive. That's a principle. Bees are very spot sensitive, so we have to be cognizant of how we're moving them and how far away and what we're doing. Bees are spot sensitive. That's their home. That spot on the earth is their home. But in this scenario, this is double deep boxes, and we have some empty mediums over here. We have some empty mediums. We would like to transition and set up some double mediums to operate some double mediums. Okay, so I'll go over this a couple of times, and you can watch the video again and again to get the idea. Okay, so we want to set up some double medium. That's what we want to get to. I have a lot of students ask me, "Jay, okay, I understand, but how do you get that? Oh, shut up." Well, unless you catch a swarm in here. I mean, if you were set up here on the, like if this was a screen bottom board and double mediums, as a catch box. Boom, swarm. Say, I do that too. I do that too. That will work. That will work. But maybe you've got resources already set up here. So take this away, and you can make a transition. But students or new beekeepers, anybody that's within 3 years of beekeeping is really considered a newer beekeeper. That's okay. I'm not trying to be critical. You just new to beekeeping. All these strategies and all these things to learn. That's why we film all these little vignettes of lessons. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a double deep, and I'm going to take this medium. I go, boy, I'm going to set this medium box up here on top, and they're going to fill it up, and then I have a start. I can walk away with that box. No. We wished it would be that simple. What's the problem here? Well, maybe this is early spring, like early April, mid-April. And these two deeps are pretty full. They're pretty full. Got a good amount of bees in them, and that's what we need. That's what we need. But bees take forever to get up there and fill this up. Maybe this medium up top is all foundation, and you need to have them draw that out, You don't want to do, in this case, we're getting ready to do a walk-away box split. Well, we want that box full, man. I mean, comb drawn, brood, bees, boom, full. Strong, full. If we set it on top, they take forever. They take more than a month and a half. It's just crazy. And they may not put enough brood up in there for our liking. Okay? So we're going to do it a bit differently. Watch this. I'm going to do it a bit differently. So there's my medium box. We're going to smoke them. And we're going to take this top deep, and set it down right there. And then we're going to take this medium that has a full complement of 10 frames, 10 foundation, maybe a combination of foundation and comb, or whatever you want, but it's going to be enough for them to work on. And set it in the middle. So we have a deep, a medium, and then another deep goes back on top. And there's a lot of bees up here, and there's a lot of bees down here, but there's nothing here in the middle. And I'm going to even feed them maybe a couple of jars of sugar water, because they've got to pull out some wax in that medium, and it helps them really get some wax going. Ooh, this is really good. Now, there's some principles that are in effect here that work for us. And if you know the principles ahead of time, now you're manipulating the bees on your behalf for you, which is cool, which is what we want to do. So watch this, follow along. So on the top, I have a full box of bees with a brood pattern, and I have a full box of bees with another brood pattern, and I've inserted an empty box in the middle. Here's the principle. Bees hate empty voids. Oh, God, drives the girls bonkers. They can't stand empty voids. In between established comb and brood. In between. That's why we set them in the middle of big, full, deep brood boxes, and they'll go to work on this like a crazy banshee. They'll go in there and pull out comb and fill it up. If you put the lid on, let's say this is my lid. Put the lid on, don't vent it. No venting. Slide in the tray, because it's a screen, we operate on screen bottom board. Slide the tray in. Poops. Reduce the porch entrance. We don't want any venting. No, not serious venting. And let it get hot. It'll get to about 100 degrees in there. It'll get pretty warm. And with that heat, and you're giving them a couple of jars of sugar water, choosh, boy, they'll go to town on that empty medium in there. And you can come back in about a month and a half, well, about 5 weeks. About 5 weeks. And that baby ought to be full of brood in the middle, maybe 4 or 5 frames of brood. There'll be bees packed in between the frames. There'll be honey on the outsides. That's good. That's what we want to see. So take this away. So let's say 5 weeks is a good time frame. We come back in and we smoke them. And we're going to have to, think a little bit how we want to do this. Because I'm going to take this top box down, be kind of tight on the rails, a new bottom board. Now, if I don't have the room, like I got a hive here, I have to take this box over on cinder blocks to the side temporarily. New screen bottom board comes in the middle because I probably have a hive here. This medium goes straight down on that screen bottom board. This brood box goes back in, lid goes on, and a new medium that's empty, this is a new empty medium, goes on here, lid on. I will plug the porch, strap it, and I can go, boo, off I go. I can put it where I want to. Maybe I set it way back in a different apiary. And go, okay, what the heck happened? We transitioned from double deeps into one single full medium. Oh, but wait a minute. Where's the queen? But I don't so much care. Not in this strategy. All I have to do is listen to the colonies. Once I pull that medium out, it could even be sitting here. And I put this box, just listen to the colonies. Now pay attention. Follow along with me now. Once you remove the queen from a group of bees, the remaining bees that are queenless, the queen pheromone in around the area will drop quickly. And the girls know it. And they'll begin to what we call roaring or rolling. And they're trying to fan the remaining pheromone around. And you'll hear them fanning loudly. Maybe even like you try to start a motorcycle. Or to be a constant louder fan, a growl. Sometimes we call it a growl. Well, if you hear that, that colony doesn't have a queen. It doesn't have a queen. Okay, so let's say we pulled the box away, and we already hear it. Oh, my gosh. This one's quiet, and this one's growling. Okay, fine. Don't panic. Don't panic. Because in the transition, now, let me go backwards. I'm going to go backwards on you. Watch this. This is pretty cool. Okay, full deep, empty medium, full deep. Now I'm ready to, I come 5 weeks in, I'm ready to make a change. Okay, I take this, set it to the side. That box is going to go down here. I pull a frame out of the middle, shake the bees off, find eggs, notch and crush some cells, put it back in, put the new medium back on. You say, what? What did he just do? I find a frame here in the middle. I pull it up, brush off the bees, shake the bees off, crush and notch some cells with eggs, and put it back together. Lids on, smoke it, plug it, strap it, away we go. What did he just do? I hear that a lot. Students are in the field like, what? Okay, now what was that? It's called notching and crushing. Bees, this is another principle. I'm throwing you some curveballs here. Bees read cells. Bees read cells. They know a worker cell. They know a drone cell. They know a queen cell. They know the sizes of holes. And any time that you change the lower half of a cell wall, provided the colony doesn't have a queen, they'll go to those deformed cells that are the bottom half of the cells tipped downward or crushed. They'll pick a couple of cells there with eggs, and they'll pull out a couple of queen cells. It's a great way to get the girls incented to pull down some queen cells. What? This is like foreign language to beekeepers that have not ever been taught true sustainable beekeeping. That's okay. Yeah, we've been around this mountain many times. It's okay. You have resources in here, and in here that have eggs. Unless you're doing a swarm prevention strategy, you don't have to necessarily find the queen. You just have to know what to do. That's about protocols again. If it's a swarm prevention strategy, then the methodology is completely different. The old queen's got to go with a mass of the bees. That's a completely different deal. But we were talking, move it back over here again. We were talking about taking an empty medium on top of a full deep, and then a full deep goes on top. Full deep, empty medium, 10 frames with foundation and clump, and a full deep. Give them 5 weeks. I'd feed them a couple of quart jars of sugar water and come back in. And I can smoke them and unbutton this box. And it ought to be full. It ought to be full because I don't vent the top, slide in the tray, block the ports, reduce it to about 1 inch. And that will heat up and they will fill out this medium box quicker than you just setting it on top. Bring in a new screen bottom board. Medium goes down. Middle frame up. Shake the bees. Find the eggs. Notch and crush. I do about 5. Take my hive tool and lay into the cells to push down. I mean all the way to midrib. You're pushing down the bottom cell. We have lessons on notch and crush. Middle frame. Shake the bees. Notch and crush about 5 spots. Put it back together. New medium comes on top. Lid on, lids on. Smoke them, plug them, strap them. Out we go. They will build this double medium set. Will now build a queen. Should take 5 weeks to build out a queen. And when I'm doing my work, I should be cognizant of the growling or the roaring. And whichever one is being really loud is telling me, oh, well, we don't have a queen. Well, maybe it's this group that doesn't have a queen, and I happen to catch her in the middle of this medium, and whoo, I'm still going to do notch and crush on a frame with eggs. Makes sense? So I don't care. Okay, so let's say no queen here. They were growling, notch and crush. Okay, they're on a 5-week time frame. And on the back side of the box, I'll write the date and what I did. You know, just with a magic marker. Okay, so there's a queen here, but this group is growling. Queen here, this group is growling. Okay, I'm going to give this group 5 weeks. Queen is here. I caught her in the shot. Just did a box. Boop. Medium comes out onto a bottom board. Empty new medium on top. Done. I can take them away, to a new apiary, set them down. I would unplug them the next morning early, and they'll reorient. Feed them 2 or 3 jars of sugar water. But this group doesn't have a queen. Okay, so they are on a 5-week time frame. 5-week time hack. All right, here's some more principles. Takes 16 days to hatch a queen. Yep, 16 days to hatch a queen. 10 days to learn how to fly and mate. It doesn't happen so fast. Excuse me. 10 days to come back and roll around and lay. Got to learn how to do that. 16, 10, and 10. That's about 5 weeks. 5 weeks is 5 weeks is 5 weeks. That's not going to change. 5 weeks is 5 weeks is 5 weeks. 16 days to hatch a queen, 10 days to fly and mate, 2 or 3 times maybe. And then another 10 days to roll around and figure out how to lay. Okay. So back over here, when I did my notch and crush, I don't look for the queen. In this strategy, I don't look for the queen. I just notch and crush the center frame. But the queen is here. Notch and crush over here, they'll raise the queen. So if I notch and crush over here, and the queen is already here, what do they do to those notches? They fix them back. They just fix them back. It's not a problem. And if you pull up that frame, 10 days later, and you look at those notches, and you go, oh, there's not a queen cell here. This doesn't work. Yes, it works every time. Because if they fix the notches, where's the queen? Here. There's no need to raise a queen. If they already have a queen, they're not going to raise a queen. Notching and crushing, the principle just allows me an easy strategy to employ that it doesn't matter where the queen is. I'm going to notch and crush a frame, maybe 4 or 5 notches. You can follow along with our videos. You'll learn about notching and crushing. Notch and crush here, notch and crush here. But I hear the growl. This one's really loud. This one's kind of quiet. Well, if it's quiet, the queen's there, and I know they're going to fix my notches. They're going to fix my notches. Boom. But now, over here, now we're dealing with a known queenless colony. Known queenless colony. Oh, careful now. Queenless colonies can get pretty spicy. The girls get pretty stressed. I wouldn't want to be coming back in on them in 10 days or 7 days and start jacking with them. Boy, they can be pretty salty. They'll take their stress out on you. So any colonies that don't have a queen, or you took the queen away and they just are stressed. Oh. Okay, here's another bee principle. Bees work on a principle of balance. So I took a normally happy colony. I set this to the side. I set in a medium box, says medium box, right there, empty. I set it back on top. Ooh, I just threw them out of balance. They're going, oh my gosh, that medium. Oh, the space in the middle, it can't be empty. We have to fill it up. Oh my gosh. And they'll work 5 weeks to fill that up. Now watch. New bottom board. Box goes down. Deep box, medium, full. I don't know where the queen is. Don't know yet. Down she goes. Pull up the frame in the middle. Shake off the bees. Notch and crush. Back the frame goes. New, empty, medium goes on top. Frame in the middle. Up. Shake. Notch and crush. Back it goes. Close it back up. Who is growling? Who is loud? Who is loud? Maybe they're loud. There's the queen. Okay, cool. They'll fix my notches and crushes anyway, because I don't know which one's it in. I didn't go look for the queen. It doesn't matter. Close them up, strap them up, plug them up, out they go. Okay, queen's there. Done. Now I have a double medium set. Double medium that I can run on. Double medium set. But here I have a double deep that's now queenless. Okay. I just go to the back of the box and I just write down the date. It's like short abbreviations, today's date and time, and maybe a minus sign in the queue that the queen's gone. I took her out. And now I'm just on a 5-week time frame. Okay. I just let them go. I just let them build, and they will pick the queen cell that they want to hatch out and keep as their own queen. These are all sustainable strategies that you can employ on your feet. You're not buying anything. You're making a transition from a double deep to a double medium set. Takes about 5 weeks. Now you have a double medium set. Boom. Yay, man. Boom. Off you go. Cool. You can go. And this is a common question, and I'm not trying to embarrass people. It's just as a common question in the beekeeping classes. Okay, I understand the double medium thing, but I got a bunch of double deeps, and that's very traditional. That's very traditional, double deeps. How do I get from here to here? That's how you do it. It has to be placed in the middle. It doesn't work well when you place it on top. So if you think that through and watch the video again a couple of times, I think you'll begin to see like, oh, now this is really something. Yeah. When you learn these kind of strategies, it really does put you in the driver's seat like, boo, sustainable beekeeping is a real thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a powerful thing. I mean, just think about how many times you could do that to a colony through the season if you started in springtime. Oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, as long as you don't crash them, because we're taking bees away from them, and a queen. So we got to be careful. But maybe we have 2 or 3, 4 sets like this, double deeps. Well, man, you could do that to them, and you could quickly come up with 10 or 12 double medium sets if you have that kind of resources. They should try it on one, get a feel for how that worked, And we don't want to crash this colony because they need to be fed. Now, this has got nothing to do with swarming, okay? Nothing to do with swarming. This is called making increase. That's the official term, making increase. We have used a strategy to go between the deeps to set up a medium, and you go through that whole program. And now we have made increase. We have increased with another colony. Maybe we do that to, 4 at a time, whatever. Okay, boom. Now you have increased by 4. So if you apply some of these sustainable box manipulations and strategies along with some catch boxes in some of the traditional splits you'll make. Woo, man, you could go from like 4 colonies to 15 real fast. I've had some of my students go from 3 colonies to 23 just in about a month and a half. Well, that's a good thing, you know. We try to put our students who we're teaching, we try to put them in a position of overflow. They're living off the saucer. That's another B principle. Living off the saucer plate, where you got the cup of coffee on the saucer plate. You slosh the coffee on the saucer. Well, there's plenty of coffee in the cup, but we're going to live off the saucer, man. So you'll be awash in bees if you learn some of these block strategies and box manipulations and things that we're teaching, principles. You go out there in the apiary and actually work them, and you're going to learn. It take you a couple of seasons. You maybe mess one up or whatever, and you just learn. And after a while, it begins to click like, oh, I'm in bees like Flint, man. Well, yes, that's what sustainable beekeeping's about. And if I want to liquidate some and sell them off, whatever, I can do that. But more times than not, what the main question, the reason I made this film, is in the bee classes, I get this question. Well, okay, they told me to start in double deeps at the bee club. That's fine. That's traditional. But how do I get from there to a double medium set? That's it. That'll answer your question, right? So if you want to learn more from us, if you like the way we teach and the stuff we show, man, the knowledge we share, go to littlecreekbeeranch.com and go to the personal advisor program and look at the private coaching service we created. There's a whole lot there, a lot of value. People really seem to like what we've done. If you want to learn from us long term, it's a subscription service, $29.95 a month. And just plug in, man. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. I'll see the information come through, and I'll give you a call. We'll set up a phone appointment, just kind of visit and begin that way. You don't have to be in Oklahoma. You can be in Connecticut, North Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, Kansas. I have students all over. Bees do not know state lines or county borders, so forget about that stuff. Bees operate by a set of principles, and that's what you've got to learn. You've got to learn some bee principles. So I teach the same strategy you just saw to beekeepers in various states, the ones who want to learn. Just how open-minded are you and how hungry are you to learn? And once you kind of decide that, man, you are in. You're going to learn a truckload. We have a ton of videos and more. We're making more. So just, kind of digest that. Go back and watch the video again, and you'll learn how to get from double deeps to double mediums, because my preference is the double mediums. That's my ace in the hole. Double medium setups have lots of positive benefits, and we're fixing to make another film about that, why we prefer double mediums. So hope you learned something. Go back and watch the videos again, man. If you got questions, just give us a shout. You can find the contact information on the face page of the website, littlecreekbeeranch.com. And if you want long-term coaching and reduce the high learning curve, that's going to eat you alive. Reduce the high learning curve and raise your BIQ. Plug into the personal advisor program. Just click the subscription button and fill out that, and off we go. Check you later.